Hi, my name is Van James. I'm a teaching artist from Hawaii, and I would like to introduce a series of painting videos, painting exercises for teachers who work with students in grades 1 through 12. Look for a separate video on supplies, the materials you'll need to start these lessons. And once you're prepared with that, let's get started. Actually, this painting we'll do today is appropriate for 9th grade. It's called Tree by Waterfall. And this is a sketch that Rudolf Steiner gave to a teacher who was working with students after school who couldn't go to the Waldorf school miles away. And as you can see, very simple pastel sketch. He suggested that the adolescent do this theme in watercolor. You see a waterfall coming down from one side, yellow sunlight, which is faded away in the sketch now, coming from the other side, shining onto a tree in a landscape. And these are some student examples, a student rendering of this theme. Here another student interpretation, and here another. Once you get the students started, they have their own ideas of how this can be conceived of. We have this theme of the tree by the waterfall. There are many different ways that one can build up this picture, but I'll show you a very simple way using the 3 primary colors. You could, of course, do this as a wet on wet painting. It's suggested at this age to be working wet on dry. That is, on a dry paper with the wet color. And here we have testing the Prussian blue. And we'll start it in the upper portion of the picture, rough it on in this way, down the side of the picture. And we'll bring this blue right across this side of the page. We'll leave a little bit of white here. Something like this. We'll leave a little bit of white up here as well. We'll bring the blue up in this way to form a tree. Something in this direction. Now, of course, as a wet on dry painting, a veil painting, we leave this veil, this first application, to dry. And you can have a conversation with the students in the meantime, or if they have it on a painting board, they could take it outside into the sunlight to let it dry. So once our first color, our blue, is sufficiently dry, we can take our next color, a vermilion red. Always have the students test their color first. See how much color is in the brush, how strong the intensity of the color is before they take it. And then we're going to bring this vermilion red over the blue. We can build it up as a kind of iron-rich ground color here. This will be our earthy, solid, rocky element, as opposed to the blue, which has this more embracing, watery quality. And we'll build this up strata by strata. Get the mountain ridge here, bring it right down, leaving strip of blue as pure blue there, and even bringing this up as the tree trunk. So our second color comes really as brown, a reddish brown. Doesn't come as red, but it works quite well for us as this kind of brown. Okay, and we leave that color then to dry. This is the type of painting that you can guide the students through. You can show them step by step these phases. Once you bring the third color, then you can leave the students free to bring in the detail to finish the picture. The third color that we are going to take, the lemon yellow. So we have these three primary colors that we're bringing to build up this picture. With the yellow, we bring that in as a kind of radiant air, and we go right over the blue that we used for the tree there. We let this yellow shine in across the picture. We can even go right over the tree trunk and down to the ground level. We bring it right up to meet the white of the cloud that we've left here, which we can tinge a little bit on the light side of that cloud. We can even bring a bit into the earth, warm it a little bit with the sun, give a little bit of texture to the earth element. You know, we could have even not brought the red on this top part and actually had grass here instead of the earth, instead of the brown earth. Now we could bring even a little bit of reflecting sunlight, very little, into the foam and the white splashing of the water there. So we have our three primary colors, the blue, the red, and the yellow. We've made brown and green from them. We're going to now go to our other blue. I'm going to take the ultramarine blue and just enhance a little bit water element. This ultramarine is even going towards an indigo. We can use it, or we could go back to the Prussian blue, show how the water is flowing up in the mountain here, coming down and then pouring over, splashing down the waterfall. We can rinse out our brush to thin that out. We can bring some of this ultramarine blue also in the earth element down here to make a little bit more rocky area. When you get these little droplets, a little bit of drip, you want to blend those out. You can always just rinse your brush out, squeeze all the water out, and then pick those up, as it were, so you don't have that concentrating of the darkness at the bottom of your brush stroke, unless of course you want that. So that's some of the ultramarine blue coming in there, and then you can have the students go back to various other colors. For instance, they could even go back to the vermilion red and place something to give us this red sensation into the picture, a sun going down here behind the tree. That red could then come in more into dry areas, of course, as a wet on dry painting. A little more rusty color to the landscape. Could come into the tree more. We could do a little clean brush wiping up, blend where certain colors meet each other so we don't have a hard edge but have a softer edge. You just rinse your brush out in clean water and then squeeze all of the water out of the bristles So you just use your damp brush, mostly dry, to lift up. So we leave a whitish cloud in the sky, but we have a tinted yellow of the sun streaming down into the landscape. We could go back to the Prussian blue, get a little more of this kind of color. And in this way we can get our waterfall streaming down the mountainside. Also, the Prussian blue can come back into the tree. We can show through increased strength of the blue-green the shadow side of the tree, and even get more detail. We might also bring some golden yellow, break up the solidity of the lemon yellow, show a little bit of the wafting warmth in this air element. And the students can play around with how they can help the whole composition, more color variation, more nuance. So you can see in a fairly straightforward way how one can build up this theme of a tree by waterfall, step by step, from the three primary colors. So good luck with your painting lessons. I hope you will take this exercise, let your students develop it further in their own way. Best wishes. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed this painting exercise and found some ideas for how you can develop your own further. Remember to not just observe them, but actually do the painting exercises, because you learn so much more through the hand-eye intelligence that you gather from the work. If you want more resources, look into my book, Painting with Hand, Head, and Heart. And keep painting. Aloha, ahui ho.